My dear masters, my dear friends, my dear gods, welcome to all of you for the today's evening session. Before commencing the session, my sincere pranams to our beloved Guruji, Brahmarshi Patriji, our great salutations to the our beloved Grandmaster, Mahavatar Babaji. My dear masters, my dear friends, so we've been discussing about negative ions. It's a wonderful subject, wonderful wisdom. We have been going through many sessions, of course. So last time, in the last session, we learned about the negative ions and grounding mechanism. So we have to be oftenly grounded. Whenever there is a rain, we must be grounding ourselves. With a barefoot walking, we must be grounding. So this is how they tested also. Generally, what happens whenever there is a rain, for example, in Native America, Red Indians, they do one procedure. If someone feels sick, what they do is they just make a hole in the ground and ask him to put the leg inside. Okay, both the legs, they make a hole. Ask him to put the both legs inside. They cover the mud, like a mud therapy you have seen. So in the naturopathy and all, right? Similarly, so they cover till the knees. They put the mud completely. They fill it. Then they'll keep you like that, so till you feel fresh and energetic, friends. So as I told, in the cities, urban cities, high-rise apartment now, who are all staying, they must go with the grounding mats, grounding badges, grounding the wristbands, the all these kind of things, like sleeping bags, sleeping pillows. So this is what we understood. So whoever is staying in the high-rise apartments and all, what they're supposed to do is they must use these methods, because in the urban cities, high-rise towers are there. They live in somewhere 15th floor, 20, 25th floor. They won't usually come down. Very less time they come. Even they come, they have completely the concrete jungle. That means everywhere concrete is done. Everywhere flooring is done. Everywhere tar is there. Then where do they get the direct earth, soil? They won't get naturally, normally. So in that case, they have solutions like they must use grounding mats, grounding wristbands, grounding sleeping bags, and grounding pillows. These kind of things they must use it. At least they will be able to get the so-called grounding through them, so that they'll also receive the electrons. This is what can be done. Or as got the funds allowed to them to buy, they can do this. So this is what we discussed in the previous session. Now, today's session, we are going to cover about negative ions and crystals. What is the negative ions and crystals? How they are really related. So, my dear friends, crystals are very specialized, highly structured things on this Earth planet. If you use them, it will shift your frequencies also. Your frequency also, it will shift. You find naturally a lot of these crystals in the spiritual shops. Okay, so the main mechanism how they will work is they will shift your frequencies. The moment you hold them in the hand, the moment you just wear them, right? Crystals, you hold them, or crystals, you wear them as a bracelet, as a necklace, whatever the way it is. The moment you hold them, what's going to happen is it will shift your frequency, because the vibrating frequency of a crystal is very, very high. They are natural things. They are naturally born. Crystals, where they are born? So in the deep down of the earth, they are actually taken out. So it means they have abundant amount of energy. We call them we call them Like energy, in terms of energy, yes, it has got highest amount of energy and high vibration frequency. But we say that directly, they are the constant source of electrons, a constant source of negative ions. Simple. Two ways. One is you directly touch the crystal, either you with the hands. Yes, the internet is unstable. Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, done. Right. So, friends, here either you touch the crystal with your with your bare hands, or you wear them on the body. That's also okay. Or you keep a crystal in the vicinity of you. Still, it will be generating continuous source of negative ions. You know that. So then they will enter into the air. Basically, whatever they generate, where they will go, so they will go into the air. All these electrons or negative ions which will go into the air naturally through inhalation, we will inhale. We'll inhale that negative ions will go inside and it will increase the negative ions count within us. That will boost the immunity. That will boost, the inside us in the blood, whatever the oxygen is flowing, that oxygen will be conveyed to each and every cell in our body properly when there is a negative ions presence in the blood. This is going to happen, right? So that is why, so the if you keep the crystal beside you, the electrons will be generated into the air. We will inhale them. Like we go to the mountains, we go to the beach, we go to the waterfall. What do? We breathe in, isn't it? We breathe in the negative ions. They go inside us. They do a lot of healing. They'll improve the current flow within you. So called the current flow, electrical energy that will be amplified. That's how it will be done. So the other way is there are two ways of supplying negative ions to our body through the crystal. The one thing is you kept them in the vicinity of you. They are sourcing continuous electron negative ions. They go into the air in the vicinity of you, the nearby proximity, right? If I then then it go into the blood crystal also. Understand? So this is what you need to do. So that means when you hold the crystal, when you are doing, many times, remember, if you hold the crystal and do meditation, it will be much, much powerful. Fine. Right. So, okay, friends. So the moment you touch the crystal in your hand, just observe yourself, your breath will slow down. Your breath will slow down. You just touch any crystal, you feel so cool, first of all. The moment you touch, then the electrons will go inside of you. Then obviously your breath will slow down, number one. And instantly you feel calmer and relaxed and more energetic. That is the secret of the crystal. Okay. It means this is the negative, this means that the negative ions are entering through your skin into your body, into your system. Okay. So the longer you keep in contact with that crystal, you feel energetic, or you feel more and more electrical energy is flowing within you. Is going to enter within you. That's how it is. Understand? So generally you go to the ground. If you ground yourself, if you are just touching the ground for a long time, then you feel so energetic and so refreshed. Similarly, here also, if you touch the crystal and keep it with you in a constant touch, that is why what we do, we have to make a necklace or a bracelet and keep it with your hand, or keep it in the neck, neck portion. That's how it will be keep in touch with you. Oh, really? This network is really troubling. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
are you
Yes,
able
sir.
to hear now?
Yes, sir.
Now I connected to mobile also. Let me.
If you are doing
So let
gestures,
me
it
try.
keeps
Let
on
me try.
striking, sir.
Uh,
If you are doing
yeah.
gestures, it keeps on striking, sir. Instead,
Oh,
try to talk without gestures, or you can switch to
okay.
audio, sir. If it is.
Okay. Okay. Let's try this now. This time. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So what we suggest is you hold the crystal while you are doing meditation, or even while you are watching television. Just hold it and keep it with you. It will keep on supplying negative electrons to your body. That's always a good point, good thing to do it. Okay, good practice, in fact, right? At the same time, when you are lying down, keep this, especially keep these crystals at the chakra points, all the major chakra points, 7 chakra points. At least leave the sahasrara. So, right from Agna chakra, this Visuddha chakra, heart chakra, that is Anahata chakra, then Manipura chakra, Swadhisthana, and then Muladhara. So keep placing this all this the crystals, the natural crystals, and then when you are lying down, it's like a one kind of a therapy. What do they do? They supply negative electrons to your body. Understand? So like that. So these crystals are amazing, endless negative generators. We must keep using them because they are cheaply available also, cheap and best available. Understand? So in order to improve our health, whatever we wanted, right? We wanted to, in order to improve our health, we must be keep doing them, right? So that's what we need to do. So that means if you want to put them onto your body permanently, make them as a necklace, make them as a bracelet, and then permanently you can keep using it. So they never, so that means they will be endlessly supplying negative electrons to your body. And whenever you are trying to give some gift or something to your loved ones, try to give only this crystals or crystals itself, right? Or if someone is hospitalized, for example, take one crystal, hide one crystal underneath the bed, underneath the so-called bed or the pillow of that patient. What does it do? It will start doing the healing. Understand? This how, friends, it's very powerful supplying of powerful supply of all these negative ions regularly, constantly. That's how these crystals can be used in this fashion. Understand? So that means what we understood is from this. So as much as possible, wherever whatever possible, crystals you can keep using them in whichever the means you can, directly touching, otherwise keep in the vicinity, whatever. So the crystals are going to be endless generators of negative ions, endless supply. And in order to recharge them, what you need to do? Bracelets, you don't need to recharge. Okay, because generally you go out, you saw the sunlight will be falling onto you, then it will be recharged by itself. But in order to recharge the crystals, what you need to do? At least weekly once, keep in a one small basket, and keep directly under the sun, maybe morning sun, evening sun, and otherwise keep in the moonlight. They'll be recharged. That's how we need to recharge the crystals. Remember this point. Just like that, you cannot keep in the house and say that they'll be recharged. No, you must be recharging the crystals in this fashion. Keep doing it. Okay. So this is what we need to understand, friends. So hope you all understood this. Now let's take the other one more concept in this negative ions today. How to help someone who is hospitalized or suffering a heart stroke or a brain stroke. How can you help him? What is the mechanism? Let us discuss this in a detailed way, my dear friends. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It is understood that if someone fallen sick, it means he has got the scarcity or shortage of negative ions within his body. Then only he falls sick, isn't it? So that's how. So what we need to do is always we should understand that how we can give more negative ions or negative electrons to him. So that what happens is, obviously, he will he'll receive more electrons, means his electrical supply or the electrical current within his body will increase, then he will be recovered faster. So how do you supply the negative electrons to that patient? Okay, so there are 2 3 ways or many ways. The one way is you can give a bracelet or a necklace which you can wear on his body. Second way is keep one crystal in the vicinity of him. Yes, that's also very much possible, right? And the third way is by touching him. Who is going to touch? That means you are supplying negative ions through his physical touch, through the skin you are trying to send. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. You touch him. So who is going to touch? How it is going to work? What is the mechanism? Let me discuss here something called potential gradient. What is the potential gradient? Wherever there are higher number of electrons, wherever the lower number of electrons is there, the electrons will flow from higher density of electrons to the lower density of electrons. That's how it flows. For example, the water, it flows from high to the lower height. That means higher to lower. That's how it flows. How about pressure? High pressure to low pressure, it flows. Everywhere this is science, isn't it? That's how these electrons also flows like that to the less gradient place. So who is having the less negative ions? Who is having higher negative ions? A person who is suffering on the bed in the hospital is having always lesser density of electrons within his body. That's why he's suffering. Now, many of the people, what happen is a relative or a friend who go and see them. Why we go and see them? In order to express our own solidarity, our own sympathy, our own so-called kindness to the person who is suffering, and also give some confidence to him. Try to increase his braveness, self-confidence. In order to improve the self-confidence, we go and meet him, right? So that's how we do always. But what happens is, since you have more number of electrons, because you are a healthy person. If you are an unhealthy person, you can't do anything. Okay, if you are a healthy person, what you must be doing is go to hospital, sit beside him, hold his hand, rub his hand slowly, and keep his hand long time within your hand. Then what will happen? The negative ion starts flowing from you into that person. See now, that's a magic. That is where a sick person will be recovered. You know that? Not like, go to the hospital, take some what is that? 5 6 type of so-called fruits and give him, and feel that, I have given something to him. Go and give money and feel that, I have given money to him. No use. When you are giving the electrons, you are really energizing him. If you touch his hand, keep his hand in your so-called lap for more time, or keep brushing, keep rubbing his or massaging his hand, then it will supply many electrons from you to other person, that sick person. That's how he is recovered. Understand? So if you understand this, friends, the best way of doing it. You have abundance of electrons within you, then why don't you do it? This is the greatest help, service what you can do when you visit him in the hospital. Right? Same way, similarly, in one more idea I will give you. There's somebody got heart attack, heart stroke, brain stroke. It's an emergency. It's also epileptic fit. That's a fits he has got it. Or he get painted, right? Or he get seizures. Whatever is happening, whichever is a serious thing happening, emergency situation comes also, what you do is, you call many of the people. all surrounding people, all healthy people, call 10 of them. That person who is already fainted, who is suffering fits, who got heart stroke, who got brain stroke, simple as this. Everybody, 10 people, one should hold one hand, other should hold other hand, the other should hold two legs, other people should, keep massaging on the back or, face or everywhere. Just go on, do this. What you are doing is you are supplying the energy medicine to him. You are supplying what? All are the healthy people, touching him every part of the body and rubbing. Keep rubbing. Immediately, within no time, within less time, he'll wake up. He got painted, but he'll wake up. You see, how does it work? Right? So, this is how you need to do, friends. Understand? So, here what happens is the skin touch we have done. Physical touch. Through this, we are supplying electrical current to him. It is nothing but, you are just passing the best medicine possible in this world to make him better, to make him healthier. You understand? So, this is how we need to do, friends. The other thing is, generally you go to massage, sexual massage, otherwise just a body massage. How do you feel? You feel so refreshed, so rejuvenated. Why it happens? You know what's happening there? You are receiving electrons from that guy. That's how you feel so happy, rejuvenated, relaxed, all this. Even when there are two partners, they are doing the sexual intercourse also, they feel so relaxed. Why? Same thing happens. The electrons will pass from one person to other person so that they make feel good. That's how it happens. Understand? And so one more example, one more thing I'll try to explain. Though it is odd, but it is true. Like whenever you touch like human beings touch the animals, right? So what will happen is generally pet animals will be so healthier. They'll be healthier, they'll be dynamic and all. Then what a owner or a hegemon, what he can do is, so for the pet animal, he is the boss, right? So if he come to the house with so much stress and all, then he play with it, then he touch it, you receive the electrons. You feel so relaxed with your pet animal by just playing with it for some time. And also here what's happening is same thing. The higher gradient to the lower gradient, it's flowing. Electrons are flowing, and then you feel relaxed. You feel energized. The other way is also true. Whenever there is an animal who is suffering, you just go and touch it, touch it and say that, okay, so cool, be happy, don't worry. If you keep touching like this to the animal, it gets better. How come? You are also supplying electrons to it because it's sick. Understand? So these are the things. It works like this, friends. Right? So that is why. So what we must be doing is as much as possible. So if we are using these negative electrons, negative ions at all the places possible, wherever, whatever, right? So definitely what happen? So you will be receiving electrons more and more. Your electrical current will increase. The electrical energy flow will increase in your body. Then obviously everybody becomes better. That's how we need to understand the negative ions in all these respects. I think there is some connection problem. Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear now? Yeah. So friends,
Yes.
so we understood the role of negative ions so far in two contexts, right, in a more detailed way. So let's use them as much as possible. Then we will again come back with many more concepts of these negative ions in the future classes. Okay. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad. Namaste.